We are live. We are live. All right, waiting for everybody to come into the room. This is your girl, Mickey, Mama Nomad. Yes, first shout out to my wonderful family that is in Zimbabwe right now. I am live from Zambia. And yes, so handling some business here early this morning in the city. And I stopped by, definitely need to stop by to check out the family here. Today with the one and only Mr. Ngobola Muyembe, who is the chief engineer at NGM Consulting Engineers. We're here at the office and we had some pressing issues and things to talk about real quick before I head out back to the family. So we definitely want to bid him farewell just for now, him and the family. Yeah. Hi, shout out to you guys. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Hi, guys. Shout out to my family, my wonderful, wonderful husband, and my beautiful daughter, and coming to you soon. So we're gonna head out here soon after this. So had to stop by the family. We at the engineering consulting office right now with Mr. Ngobola Muyembe, our family, and we had some very interesting things to talk about real quick with him. And as you know, there is a situation that has occurred in North Africa that is storming the internet. It is very, very, extremely disturbing. And he's going to give us some information about what's going on and talk to us a bit and share with us the importance of us doing business with each other. All right. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And it's a pity that you are leaving Zambia, but we've made a very nice family, and it was a blessing to meet you and your husband and your daughter. And I'm actually happy that I met you.
Oh, the same here, same here, same here.
I wish you all the best in your travels. Hopefully you come back soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. We know we couldn't. My husband's like, no, you have to make sure. I was handling some business, out and about here earlier this morning, so I can get back to them. And he said, make sure you go by and check on our brother, and definitely. And then also we had some pressing things that we want to discuss because, you know, there is a video that's circulating of something that happened. It's horrific. I have never seen anything like it in my life. Yeah. It's a video of some things happening to some migrants, African migrants in North Africa. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that is between Morocco and Spain. The border between Morocco and Spain. And for years, I've been telling people, in North Africa, the situation, they try to sweep it under the carpet. But Morocco has an issue with, say, Western Sahara, and the way they treat black people up there in the north of Africa is really horrible. What you saw has been happening for years.
Wow!
You can even tell from the way those policemen or border patrol people were behaving. That for them that is normal.
That's normal.
That is normal behavior. Even when you look at the war in Libya. The war in Libya, in Benghazi there, the people that were first being slaughtered were basically black people by the residents of Libya. And then Gaddafi says to them, stop this. And then they rise against it. So that guy is gone. So anyway, Morocco left the African Union in 1984. The reason they left the African Union was because all the African leaders accepted Western Sahara as a member of the African Union.
Wow.
But people who live in Western Sahara are black.
Right.
In Morocco, there is a racism that is there, which people don't talk about. But in Morocco, the lighter skinned you are, the closer you are to the house of Muhammad. This goes back to the time of when they are capturing white women from Europe and then having children with them. So the lighter skinned was the white women were given to those people who were higher up in in the Islamic thingy. So the people of Western Sahara are black, right?
Right.
And the way anybody who happens to be black in there is assumed to be coming from Western Sahara. So that's why sometimes you see the carnage and the savagery that people were
So,
exhibiting.
are you saying that there are people that are, okay, like Africans, they are actually from that region originally?
Some of them may be from that region because you see the tragedy of that situation is that if you happened to be in that vicinity, maybe just reporting or trying to find out what is there, they would have assumed you are an illegal immigrant just by your color of your skin.
Oh.
They were not asking for papers or anything. So those people, of course, they've been trying. There have been migrants that have been trying to get into Europe for years. We also have migrants that have been trying to get to Africa for years. But we don't. Nobody has a right to treat anybody like that. But you see, the reason why that is happening and why somebody can do such a thing is that they don't know. They are not afraid of us. So that's why I keep saying, look, we don't have to have our people subjected to that type of humiliation. We can look into ourselves. Even the Europeans also, they should do, they even though, and that is being paid for by the Europeans. They are paying Moroccans to stop migrants. And this should not even be, people should not lie about it. They are paying Morocco to stop migrants. But Morocco is doing what Morocco does, which is basically causing all that barbaric behavior.
Wow.
And, so, if the Europeans want to stop migrants getting into Europe, they should start by doing this. Check the 100 listed companies at the FTSE 100, maybe say in the UK, or check the companies that are making billions of dollars stealing from Africa to make sure that are resulting in those boys, young boys, trying to get into Europe. So if these companies stop stealing, we're talking about Toto, we're talking about Shell, we're talking about BP, we're talking about all these other ExxonMobil. If they stop, you're talking about Glencore, which was in America. There you can check even the case of Glencore having been found with a case to us, and now they are paying $1.1 billion to the American government for bribing foreign officials. So basically, they were coming to our countries, they bribed our officials so they can steal our resources. You can look it up if you want.
Oh, wow.
It's an ongoing case in New York. So if these multinationals stop stealing from African countries, conniving with African leaders to steal from their people, their young people, such a desperation of our young people trying to swim to Europe for a better life can stop. That's why I'm always saying, please come here so that we probably try to do something together. And we because nobody was asking the passport of each one of those people where they're coming from. They can come from Eritrea, they can come from Ethiopia, may come from Niger. But the one thing they have in common is that they are black. And if we have economic empowerment of our own people, we can't be subjecting ourselves to such humiliation. So for me, that is and the African Union is only saying this a day after. A day ago. That's when they were saying. But I sent that video. Remember, I sent it maybe 3-4 days ago.
Right.
So why were they waiting all this time?
Wow.
Why couldn't they say something? And it's not because it is or it is the first time it's been happening and they will not say anything.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that video was very, very disturbing. And I'd never seen anything, like I said, like that in my life. And I was like, what is going on? Because the language, I don't understand the language, what was happening. So I know it was you that said that you can explain it and you know what was happening. And so what do you think, before we go forward, you have a lot of hellos and shout outs. Let's catch up on that. Hi, Tony Richards. Hello, Ngobola. Shout out to Malachi Muhammad. Godfrey is in the house. Jerry, Lena, Ayo, last of the 70s children. Priska is in the house. Salome. Who else do we have? We have so many people coming in the house. Hi, Tony. Yes, yes, yes. So just so you know, I'm here on business, and just stop by the engineering office that belongs to, he's the chief engineer here. This is in Ngobola's office, so just stop by to get some information about this story, this pressing story that's in the news and is circulating widely right now. And also just talked to the family a few minutes ago, so yes, I'm headed to them very shortly. So just made a quick stop to say hi and bye for now to our family here. Mr. Ngobola and his family, it's a pleasure knowing them. They're beautiful, beautiful people. And yeah, to get back to what's happening, I want to ask him a few more questions. Shout out to Mary, shout out to Prince in the house, Mary Garcia. We have Caroline, we have Mwinyi, Alex, watching from Australia. Shout out to you. Chitty, who else? We have Benson. Benson says Africa needs good governance so that its citizens don't end up crossing oceans looking for life in Europe. Very sad occurrence. And some of them have already seen the video, and it's very disturbing. So definitely, again, shout out to my wonderful husband, beautiful daughter. Yes, they're in Zimbabwe right now. I'm in Zambia for a short period of time handling some business, and I'm headed to them very shortly. So back to the story at hand. I want to ask you, what do you think the solution would be to these occurrences, these things that keep happening to our people?
Yeah, there's something that people have ignored for years. When Western countries were pushing for our countries to go to be democratic, what they said was democratic, because they assumed that leaders like Kenneth Kaunda and Nyerere were not good enough for us. What people ignored to notice was that they pushed very hard to legalize lobbying. Now, so they allow lobbyists to operate freely, and they first of all came with, for instance, in '91 when we were getting our so-called multi-party democracy.
Right.
There was a lot of money flooded into the economy where NGOs were formed. If you just come up with any NGO, they will be funding for it. But the reason was that the law on lobbying was not yet changed. So they made it look attractive and they need to be democratic. But what people ignored was that the biggest lobbyists will buy all the seats on the table. So the one with the deeper pocket,
most money.
So basically they legalize corruption. So when we talk about good governance and all these other stuff that you're talking about, it's good governance as long as it's favoring multinationals.
Right.
So for instance, the Chamber of Mines in this country has got the label, is a lobbyist for the mining companies, right? And they will throw a lot of money at legislation to make sure that the government does what they want. Right? So when people say, oh, good governance so that money stays in the country, we are fighting as we speak now. We're still fighting with our government.
Right.
So why can't you tax the mines so that they contribute to the economy? Why don't you tax them enough? But there's always a lobbyist on the other side with a deeper pocket who will always throw money at our government officials so that they come up with an excuse of not to do. And these have flooded the whole of African continent. We will lobbyists everywhere. So that and it's also linked to history as well. Okay, so maybe
So I want to read a comment. Someone just said, Charles Irby, I actually lived in Morocco and Egypt. My condolences to the Africans who died. Morocco nor Spain are under no obligation to allow Africans to illegally enter their respective nations. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, of course. That is absolutely right. Even Zambia has no obligation to allow anybody to enter this country illegally. But no one has a right to kill anybody for entering a country illegally.
I agree.
You can't be talking like that. If you saw that video, whoever made that comment, see that video, and then see whether you can actually make a comment like that. If you really have the humanity in you.
Right.
You look at the comment. Here in Zambia, we have got Congo here.
Right.
Congolese, when you see war breaks out and the Congolese are going around with the some of them don't even have passports. But nobody has ever killed anybody for entering this country.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
true. That is true. Now, I'm totally against someone being beaten and mistreated and slaughtered. That is a no-no. But yeah, I agree too that,
Yes.
it's up to the country. They don't have to allow people
Yes,
to
they don't
enter.
have to. And don't also forget, Morocco left the African Union in 1984. They were begging us to come and that their king was busy roaming around here trying to plead for our countries to allow Morocco back into. We actually don't need Morocco in the African Union. They have been away since 1984 and we've never been affected. So they can close their border, that's okay, right? But they have no right to treat people like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You go and read that video and then think about it deep down you, if you can even say such a thing.
I'm sure that it's all over the place now,
Yeah.
all over the internet. So where could they find it? If those who haven't seen it yet, where can they find that clip or that video?
It was sent for me. It was sent to me by somebody who's himself Moroccan, but who doesn't share the behavior.
Oh wow, that's
Yes.
something.
Yes.
That's deep. So he is Moroccan and he
Yes.
does not
He
share those
doesn't- he
same
doesn't
thoughts and
believe
beliefs.
That's
Wow.
what they should be doing to other people.
I agree.
And to just say a little bit, we have people from as far as Afghanistan, those Turkish people that were actually coming from North Africa, they're here, even making bricks. We also have no obligation to allow them. But the people's humanity, every time we say, okay, why don't you chase these people away? Our own people will say, okay, yes, maybe they may have broken the law, but where are they going to go if you chase them? Yeah. So I'm not saying we want to go into Morocco. Nobody wants to go to Europe. Right? They should just make it be fair in the way they also behave. What is causing those people to do that? They're not entirely blameless. Those people in Europe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're stealing from Africa, you're going to expect those people to do that. But the solution does not lie in breaking people's bones like that. Yeah. So some of those people were even dead when they were throwing them on top of each other.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that. Ooh. And it's too graphic for us to show here. So you're going to have to locate the clip online. So there is somebody wants to know what's happening. So there is a very big tragedy that is taking in North Africa, Morocco, to be specific. So check out, it's circulating widely on the internet. So you can find that clip. I can't show it here. It's very graphic. So someone is just entering. So just run it back. Just here really quickly at the engineering consulting office of Mr. Ngobola Muyembe to bid farewell to him for right now, and also to get the details on what's happening in North Africa to the African migrants. It's a pressing issue, and so that's what's happening here. So I have to read a few questions and comments. So Miss Mary Kingdom Changer said, the youths don't want to endure and stick to their country. So maybe you can address that. And then Mary Garcia says, Africa is everything the world needs. The leaders need to stick together, work with each other without corruption. We will always be disrespected around the world as long as Africa is not united. What else? Let's see. Tony Richards wants to ask you, he's told that Zambia has more foreigners than any other country in Africa, followed by South Africa. You can address that. Is that true? And, okay, yes, so let's address those if you can right now.
Yeah, so maybe I'll start with this, that youth don't want to stay in Africa. Maybe we'll say yes and no, but why is it that? That's why I support channels like yours, where you are highlighting a different perspective of Africa.
Right.
The BBC, CNN, and all these other countries, news channels that have got far wider reach, have been talking only negative stuff about Africa. To the point that even when the people who live here watch it, so because Africa is a continent,
Right.
You know? I haven't been to Zimbabwe maybe in the past 10 years. But when I look at what the BBC reports about Zimbabwe, I wouldn't want to go there. But you have been to Zimbabwe.
Right.
Can you really tell me that what they report about Zimbabwe is what you saw?
No, there's always some type of holes in media stories that I've
Yes.
found from
Yeah.
traveling. And that's why I think we do what we do. Definitely why part of the reason we do what we do as the unapologetic nomads. Shout out again to my wonderful husband and beautiful daughter. Yeah, so that's why we do what we do to bring the truth to light
Yes.
in real time, because we are sitting listening to things that may have taken place 20 years ago, 30, and you're thinking it's still that way, not knowing that time moves on, everything progresses, places, we move forward
Yeah.
as things, technology, as things become,
Yeah.
more and more progressive, so does nations progress and move forward. So I can definitely say from traveling around not only the continent but other places in the world, to say that yes, some of the stories that you do find and hear in the news are false, and they have a lot of holes in them. So you need to find out for things for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the money thrown at the negativity and the energy thrown at it is what has caused some of those youth. I'm not saying it's entirely the reason. There are some young people who are not really resilient enough. They want to have a good life. But what is shown about Europe is all about it's all rosy and everything. So they want to go there. That's where the light is. But at the end of the day, we still need to push back. We still need to push back and encourage them to say, you can stay here. That's why I'm doing stuff. I try to encourage young engineers to come forward, and even persuading the government to be giving us opportunities. When you say Zambia has more foreigners than it, when I look around, I mean, we were only about 12 million people, no, 8 million people maybe. But the other number of people that have come mostly foreign, and the population increase. Every country needs migrants, to tell you the truth. Even us, we also need migrants. But we don't need immigrants who have one leg in Zambia, another leg in another country, just to use Zambia as a springboard to go to somewhere else.
Right.
So if you look around most of these immigrants, they will call themselves Zambians. But ask any of them, do you even speak any of the languages in Zambia? None of them even speak any languages. So, but if I was to come to Europe and say, okay, I'm going to be a UK citizen, they'll ask me about the history of the UK, and I have to speak English as well. So yes, it has more, a lot of foreigners, but I haven't seen them. I don't know the numbers, whether it's more than any other country, but it's much more welcome.
Right. Yeah, so I read the stats or statistics. It's a little over 19 million people in Zambia, right?
Yes, about that.
So of the 19 million, I think I read, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that as far as like people who are not originally from Zambia, it's probably around 90,000. Am I correct?
Yeah, it can be around that.
It's very small, so I can't say that it's full of just foreigners. No, there's a
No, it's
lot of Zambians. This is a very, very, very big country.
But the thing is that Zambia is welcoming to foreigners. Maybe that's the reason why
Right.
the people think that it's got more foreigners than any.
Right, and it's like somebody just put as well, Chips 01 Fulifity, I hope I said that right. He said that Zambia has a lot of Africans from other African countries as well.
Yes. Yeah, and you can see from the history, our first president's father was from Malawi.
Oh,
The second
okay,
president's parents were from Congo.
okay.
The other one, Rupia Banda, was born even in Mwanawasa was from here, but Rupia Banda was born in Zimbabwe. Rwanda.
Oh, wow.
So so we have a lot of people from other countries, yeah. But you still need to protect the integrity of this country, because if you call this country your home, right, you have nowhere else to go to. We've got people who have got indigenous roots right here. They don't have anything across the border. But if you check, most of the groupings have got relatives on the other side, maybe say Congo, and those who have got relatives in Zambia.
Okay,
Malawi,
okay,
same thing.
yeah. I just want to check real quick. How's the sound? Can everybody hear, Mr. Ngobola? How's the sound? Give me a thumbs up. The sound is good. Give me a thumbs up. Yes, let me know. How's the sound? Okay, I got a thumbs up.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. So you wanted, he said loud and clear. So did you, I think there's something else, there's another solution you wanted to share to this, types of things that happen. What can you, hold on one second. Can you see yourself?
No, I can't see myself.
You see yourself. Is it clear? Is it clear?
No,
Is your picture clear?
no. Much more. The sun is.
The sun, it's a
maybe I-
bad picture.
Maybe I cover this one. Would that be? Oh yeah, maybe I can see myself now.
Okay, is that a better picture? It's a little blurry, but I hope it's clear.
Much more clearer than they are.
Okay, so make sure you can see yourself. I can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it more at this point. So what is, a solution to the type of things that have been occurring for a long time, or some solution you would suggest?
Yeah, for instance, like apart from the business, you mean? Business opportunities?
Sure. Anything you think would
Yeah.
help solve this problem
Yeah,
with
so-
even migrants, people having to leave their homeland, their countries, and go different places. What is a solution or solutions? All right. Let us know if we're back. Let us know.
let's
Let us
jump
know.
on.
Give me a thumbs up if we're back. All right, let us know. Let us know if it's back. Let us know if it's back, guys. Just let me know if we're back. Let me know if we're back. It's frozen. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, good. All right, so we can continue. The solutions that you were giving us.
Yeah.
Make sure you can
So,
see yourself.
oh yeah. What I think should happen is that instead of European countries throwing money, or the European Union throwing money towards Morocco to stop them. Okay, yeah. Instead of the European Union throwing money towards North Africa to stop migrants crossing into Europe and treating them like that, they should start with their own companies. What are they doing in Africa, causing those people to be going there? So that's number one. Stop basically stealing from African countries so that they leave the people starving. That's what's causing that. Number one. Number two, we, the African people, should now start looking at opportunities within Africa. So I will create employment for our own people so that they don't, no matter what you can say, oh, but me, I'm British and it's not, doesn't concern me. But when they start to attack, they don't ask for passport. Some of those people, I don't know how they managed to get themselves into that situation, but it's because where they are coming from, there are no opportunities. And these multinationals are coming here, conniving with our leaders, taking wealth away from the poor people, leaving them desperate. So that's what should happen. Then our own people should start thinking about, like what we're saying in the other videos. Come look for opportunities. If you find a country that has already been built, it means you are too late. If there are no roads, it means the roads needs to be done. If there are no bridges, it means there is work to be done. If there are no schools, it means there are schools to be built.
Wow.
And that's where employment is created. Even the US, when they made the interstate highways for joining all the cities and the states, that's where they created employment. The $1 trillion that Joe Biden is spending on infrastructure spending is basically to create employment for his own people. So that is what should be happening here. But every time we have major projects, we also still get European companies to come and nick these jobs from us. So that's a solution. Create employment here. My dogs are a bit... Create employment here so that the people stay where they are. Throwing money at North Africans like Morocco to stop people from... It's not a solution. It's not a permanent solution.
Okay.
spend on infrastructure projects right here in Africa so that they create employment so that the young people can have something to do. And that's where you train technicians, you train bricklayers. The work, I rarely advertise my work, but the work I do is I supervise small contractors, sometimes big contractors and also small contractors. Sorry, excuse me. So I've
Okay.
seen how jobs are created in infrastructure development, you know? So,
Uh-huh. Let's see what we're getting. Okay. So, you yourself, you have any things that you're working on right now? Any businesses, like for an example, opportunities, uh, that would, help the youth to want to. How can we encourage the youth to stick around and to want to do business in their home countries?
because okay, the education system that is there is, it trains people to get employed. And there's nothing, you cannot blame everybody. There's some people who just wants to get a job.
Okay.
But
Okay. Right.
but
Right.
jobs are created by the private sector.
Right. Right.
And the
Right.
private sector should not always be foreign.
Okay.
But what they have done in Africa is that when they talk about private sector, they exclude the local people. They think private sector is always have to be foreign. But you get a foreign company, they come and do the job. Once the project is finished, they go. But if you've got a local, if you've got a local company that can do work here, um, they stay here and create employment for these young
Uh-huh.
people. Yeah,
Okay.
and
So we do
then
have some people that are interested, as Tony said, in investing in Zambia.
yeah.
What are some ideas, some things they can do to invest here?
Oh,
Some good ideas.
yeah. Last time I talked about there are opportunities in mining, there are opportunities in agriculture, there are opportunities in technology, there are opportunities in several fields. But the biggest one I can say right now is that look, we've got Congo and the other areas where they have got Congo has got 100 million people at the moment, and Zambia has only got 18 million people. You've got
Wow.
Europeans trading with Congo because they need to be fed. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So they need to be fed. So opportunities in agriculture, renewable energy, right? All these things, and then we so much because, like I said to you, if things are not yet built, it means there's opportunity in there, right? So it
Okay.
says
Somebody said,
Zambia has about 4 million unemployed youths. Actually, I made a suggestion. One of the suggestions I made was this: for our country has they are about to spend CDF funds, right? So now those CDF funds, what I said was that you cannot give construction companies to be making blocks. You get all these people from North Africa to come and do blocks here, right? That is an opportunity for people to create employment for the young people. So, for instance, there are about 156 constituencies, and there is a constituency development fund that has been released to a tune of 25 million, right? Why not get youth in each one of these 156 constituencies and dedicate, ring fence the block making towards these people? You'll find that sometimes you have to do a deliberate policy to create employment for your own people. So that's number one. Number two, we export a lot of copper, raw. But the government can even just make a law to say no copper should be exported and processed. You start making cables from there. That is already a chain that you have created. So there are so many things I can say, which we have got Zambia Development Agency there. They always think it's FDI, foreign direct investment. That's not what can create employment. People always it's raining, drizzling.
what, that side.
Are you
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Maybe.
You can talk and I'll just.
So it's drizzling a little bit. I don't know
Raining.
how,
Uh-huh.
because this is supposed to be the cold season, not the rainy season, basically.
Uh-huh.
So, are you able to see? Oh,
Yes.
I think yeah. So yeah, So what I'm saying that
Okay.
Employment can be.
1 second, we're heading back indoors, because it's starting to drizzle, rain a little bit out there. So if you sit that side, it'll probably be better, the lighting, okay? And we got just a few more, things, and we're gonna wrap it up, but, definitely, we're back now, okay? All right,
okay.
okay, so what were you saying, hold on,
Yeah. So the
is it good?
yeah. It's actually better now.
Okay,
I even have a painting which was done by Zambian, and you can see this one.
You
This
open that
is
window. Okay.
this is migrants trying to swim across to Europe, right? And
Nice
some of
painting.
them are drowning. This is how close this issue is to me, right? We shouldn't be seeing all this stuff, right? But
Oh, they're drowning.
yeah,
Oh, goodness.
like this one is.
Oh, wow.
So this issue of North Africa is not just now. They used to swim. Now they found a way to get into Spain through the land. And now they're being. So
wow.
it's a tragedy. So you have
Yeah.
to sit down together. The Europeans have started the charm offensive because of the war in Ukraine to have a charm offensive towards Africa, to be nice to us. So our leaders should now ask them to say, look, the migrant issue, right? It's because Africa is a mess as we speak. The leadership is a mess. So why don't we create an atmosphere where the leadership is much more nicer to its own people without interference? So our people, Paul Kagame has to put his foot down and has to be a strong man for him to get to where he is, but not everybody else can be that like that.
Yeah, he really,
Yes.
he does his thing. Yeah.
So they have to sit down, and really, I still think multinationals that are milking from Africa, if only they stop stealing from here, those people across are gonna stop crossing the border to run away from Africa. You just
Yeah.
look at Glencoe, how much they stole from the Congo, from Zambia, from they are paying 1.1 billion to the American government. Why don't they bring that 1.1 billion, which was stolen from here, invest in an infrastructure project so we can grow our own small bricklayers, our own small artisans, our own young people that are going to build schools with that amount of money. So then you create employment from there, because the private sector can't just fall from the sky. That's why when you're taking a child, you start it in grade 1, nursery, right? So those that
Right.
want to go into private business,
Right.
the training ground is in infrastructure projects.
Right.
There's mechanical works that are done there. There's electrical works that are done there. There's civil works that are done there. Almost all the projects that I have done have got all these components. And you get to train people to work, those that want to work for themselves in this way. And those that want to work as maybe accountants, they can work for these companies that are growing from these infrastructure projects. But you don't have to swallow up, including green jobs. You see, those green jobs are the ones that are supposed to create employment for our people, but they should not be spearheaded by those companies coming from Europe. It should be our people first, right? And that's where you grow your private sector. But once you exclude your people, you may think, they've got no capacity and all these other things that you keep talking about, but they will have no capacity, but they will have an alternative to do. And the alternative is to go and try to swim across the Mediterranean, or to steal from those that have. So which one would you rather have? So don't really. So this is not happening from without. It's happening because our people have been excluded from the economy for years.
So we have, I think it's a question. It says, Mr. Ngobola, is the new dawn and HH on track? I don't know what that's referring to. What's your view? I don't
It's
know
about
what that is.
the new government.
Oh, okay.
Every government, for me, every politicians are always going to be the same. But the only consolation I have with this government is that they allow people to speak. They have allowed people to speak their mind, and I'm one of the people that criticize what they say, and politicians should be held accountable throughout their tenure. You don't just vote for someone and then you say, okay, after the confetti has been swept away, you leave them to their own devices. Somebody else will jump in and influence their decision. That's why I was saying, those lobbyists that keep always coming to capture our governments, those people have to keep them in check, because those are the ones that disturb government programs. You vote for them, right, and then you leave them and they shut the doors. But you have to keep on knocking and reminding them to say, no, you promised this and you promised that. And for me, this government, the only consolation I can have is that they are not perfect, but they are definitely better than the previous characters. So they don't allow, they allow people to speak. And it's also, it's very important for people, the ordinary people, to get involved in governance. There are three arms of government. There's the judiciary, there's the legislature, and then there's the executive. There's a reason why these are separate. And then there's also a fourth estate they call, which is basically the media. But you can even add the fifth arm, which is the power of the citizen to hold their people, their governments accountable. And and it is important to always keep at it. Don't expect the politicians to just do the right thing all the time. You have to remind them sometimes if you do something wrong. And that's the only consolation I have. And I can't say they are on whether they are on track or not. I don't agree with them going to the IMF to go and borrow 1.4 billion. Me, I am not for that idea, because, and here is why. You have forgiven $180 million. And when I say forgiven, people say, no, it's not forgiving. When they say deductible, not tax deductible, what they are saying is that if 1 ton of copper, right, is mined by a mining company, whatever they spent when mining that 1 ton, they have to deduct the expenses before they can pay taxes.
Oh.
Now, my contention is, who has checked that they have spent the money they are claiming? Because there is no mine audit. So they need to go and check that, oh, they spent 7 shovels, 7 ball mills, so many things. And then this is exactly, and somebody ticks off every day. That's when you can say, okay, yeah, you can make your tax deductible. But if there's nobody checking them, they can cook up everything. That's why you find that at the end of the year, every budget, you have to pay them back VAT. Who verified whether they actually spent that money? So, so
Interesting.
that's my only contention with them. But yeah, very, very important. This government has allowed people to speak.
Yeah.
They may not be perfect, but that's a good start.
Speak your mind, yeah.
You speak and you criticize, and sometimes they even react when you criticize. When they see that people, like for instance, on the issue of Zamto, they react.
When you can. Yeah.
They clarify that it's not about what was reported, right? So this is what should keep people at it. Tell them if you think they're making something, they're making some mistakes.
Yeah. Good. All right. All right. Wow. Loads of information. And yes, this brother is very, very, very intelligent, brilliant in our eyes. And we want to thank him for joining us this morning, because I know he has a busy schedule. We're going to get out of here and let him handle his business and do what he needs to do. And yeah, shout out to everybody who is in the room right now. We got 81 people still on here. Please give us a thumbs up, hit that like button. It is free. Mr. Ngobola, do you think Zambia should still follow the failed policies of Europe that's putting all their countries in debt, and should follow Saudi Arabia? Okay, Saudi Arabia way by creating a company like Saudi Aramco or something like that. And I think he did kind of touch on that. But if you want to touch on that before we go.
Yeah, but for me, I'm not an ideologue, so I don't have one ideology that I follow. As long as it's going to work for the people. Yeah, then it's like what that Chinese leader said. doesn't matter whether the cat is black or it is white, as long as it can catch mice. So people try to put labels on, oh no, that's socialism, oh that's capitalism. As long as it can work for the people, for me, you can call me whatever. I feel very bad every time I drive and I see people begging on the street corner. And then on the other side, I see somebody driving in a very nice big car with the windows covered and he works for the government. For me, I think it's not right. You have to do. The nation is only as strong as its weakest, right? That's why you find sometimes if a European was the one who was being beaten the way they were doing it in North Africa, the whole Europe would have reacted. Look at what they did with Ukraine. So you gotta, first of all, you get the money, and you get the money by involving your people in the economy through private, small businesses, small to medium businesses. And once you have the money, then you have the power. And when you have the power, people cannot even touch your one of yours. They'll be scared. Yeah. So
Someone wants to know, would you ever accept a position in government if you were offered that or if you had a chance?
I don't think anybody would want to employ me because I am very difficult to, what can I say? I don't easily bend when it is, if something is devious. So, because most of the projects I have worked on, I've had projects managers where we have to argue, but I don't think in the government these politicians would want somebody who would argue with them. And especially, we are a young democracy, but if we go to the point where I am allowed to speak my mind, of course, then I can work for the government. But if they tell me to say, okay, now you are gonna zip it up, my brain is wired differently. I don't think it will short circuit. So I don't think I can work for the government if it is to be work independent.
Yeah.
That is different. But
Okay.
to be
Wow. So there you go. We want to thank our good brother here, and it has been a pleasure joining him for just a few minutes to get his input on the situation in North Africa. And those who have not or are not aware of the situation, it is circulating very widely on the internet right now. You can check that out. And we want to thank Mr. Ngobola for his time once again. Very brilliant, always have a lot to share, very interesting information. So he's going to head off. He has work to do, and I have to finish some business here in the city, and also get back with my family. So shout out to my husband and daughter. Love you. And we want to thank Ngobola and his family for everything, for being so wonderful and generous, and all the wonderful people we've met here in Zambia. And we shall return. But for now, we want to thank you guys. We have 91 people on here now. Just hit that like button. Please hit the like button. Thank you so much. And share this. Share. Again, so we're going to sign out for now. Cheers to you. And you guys have a great day wherever you are in the world right now. Have a lovely one, and peace.
Oh.